Welcome back, guys. Hey, so today we're going to be sharpening 3 pairs of goat hoof trimmers. So, if you want to watch that, stick around. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean them up. You can just see that there's a little bit of stuff that build up of just cutting. So, we're just going to hit it with a little nylon brush, give it a spray of ballistol and let it sit for a little bit, and go even further. Alrighty, so I'm just going to start with spraying it down with some ballistol and let that start working it in. And then we're going to go check up on that ivy. Not much of a difference, but at the same time, I want to do a follow-up just so that you can see the results that are happening. So we'll let this sit here in just a second, and we'll go check up on that. Not much difference. You can see it in the center, but getting progress. So I started out with a ratchet and a 10mm, which you can see I'm a little bit struggling. So I changed it out for a Nipex soft jaw plier, which works so much better because the plastic on these isn't cast so well. So trying to get a tool down in there, especially a socket, is really, really hard. And I feel like it would just do more damage if I really just got in there with a socket. So we'll change it up and we'll switch to using the Nipex pliers. Alrighty, so now you see me grabbing those Nipex pliers. Honestly, if you're looking for a set of adjustable pliers that really lock and hold things in place, you can't go wrong with these. I mean, they're just a great tool. I use them for my car, for everything I can think of if I want a really firm grip. And these are just like a spanner wrench, but a spanner wrench that locks down. So they're really good for some precision work. It may not be the most precise thing, but I'm also not putting hundreds of foot-pounds of energy into torquing it down. It's just to get it tight enough to where it needs to be. Alrighty, and now we're finishing up taking them apart. Let's get to sharpening them. So most of the time when I'm doing scissors and things of that nature, I don't go off a specific angle. I go off of the angle that's from factory and match it. Occasionally, if there's something that, like a pair of loppers or something along those lines, that I want to hold at a better angle, I'll change it. But for the most part, I'm going to match the angle that comes from the factory, but just give it a better finish. That's my goal, is getting a better finish than what you originally had. Because it makes a big difference, just the finish that you're able to apply. And it may be a super low grit finish, or it may be a really high grit finish. But the applications that go to either are so vast, and it's amazing seeing the difference from a low grit finish to a high grit finish, and both where they're needed and where they excel even. And so that you know, I'm starting off with a 60 grit belt in this case. After that, I'll probably go to the 120 or 220. But it all depends on how I'm feeling or what I'm doing. Occasionally I'll use the 120 belt. Occasionally I won't. It really depends on the finish I'm doing. In this case, I got to experiment, which was super fun. So I did one at 80 grit, I did one at 120 grit, and I did one at 220 grit, just to see the difference in cutting for the client. So she's going to be trimming her goat hoofs here shortly. And once she tells me, okay, which finish she likes the best, I mean, they're all going to cut really well, but I want to know what is the best finish for them, or at least the best finish for her. It could vary from person to person, but being able to play around with that and go, okay, this is a good starting point, because I can assume what's a good starting point, but when I get the feedback is when I'm able to excel. And I love being able to get the feedback of, I wish it did X, because it allows me to sharpen and tailor to that. And I love that. I love getting a challenge to the point where it's not, okay, just straightforward, okay, I go do this, do it the same way every single time. I mean, if I was doing that, you'd all get the same finish. But I don't want that. I want a finish tailored to the person that is using the tool, whether that be a knife, a pocket knife, set of clippers, loppers, a saw. Being able to tailor those edges to the person really is beneficial. Alrighty, and now to just give them a little cleanup. Because, I mean, they've got metal particles on them. Might as well give them a nice little cleanup. So, putting it back together is just inverse of taking it apart. You put the pin through, put the nut on, and screw it down. Not terribly hard, but at the same time, I have a pretty good mechanically inclined mind. I'm very lucky that way. But it's not terribly hard for me, at least. There's other things like, okay, I've got a wood chipper that I need to go sharpen. So that'll make for a fun take apart, put back together. And you get to watch that. Be a whole lot of nuts and bolts and that kind of fun stuff. So if you'd like to see a video on me sharpen a wood chipper, let me know down in the comments. I'd love that feedback. Alrighty, and like always, we've got the ballast all wipe. It's just that oil that I used originally, but it's in a rag. I do it to everything just because it's a white mineral oil with a light scent. So it's really good for all finishes. And that's the end result. So that'll wrap things up for today. Make sure to like and share the video. And if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.